The Gyalwang Drukpa is the spiritual head of the Drukpa lineage, a Buddhist tradition with nearly 1,000 years of history, rooted in India and closely tied to the Himalayas. He is known around the world not only as a spiritual leader and a profound mediation master, but also as a dedicated humanitarian. Following the philosophy of live to love, he has initiated many practical projects in environmental protection, disaster relief, and gender equality promotion. In particular, the Gyalwang Drukpa has been a pioneer in organizing green pilgrimage to raise public awareness of climate change and nature conservation. Through his wisdom and compassion, he has inspired millions of people on their journey toward true happiness and inner peace.
This is not his first visit to Vietnam. Far from it. Today marks the 13th time His Holiness the Gyalwang Drukpa returns to this country, a place he has come back to again and again over nearly 2 decades. But what keeps bringing him back is not ceremony or tradition, as he has often shared. It is the sincerity of the Vietnamese people, their warmth, their openness that leaves him feeling re-energized, inspired, and deeply connected. And perhaps that genuine connection is exactly what makes each return feel so meaningful. So, Your Holiness, welcome back to Vietnam.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I would like to say as well, welcome back to this show again. Welcome back to Talk Vietnam. It's been 15 years. A lot has changed.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Yes, a lot has changed. But the first question I have for you is, Your Holiness, for those who may be still unfamiliar to you, could you give us a description of the Drukpa lineage?
If you ask who am I, we believe in the next life and the previous life, the continuation of life.
Yes.
Stream. And so one of my previous life was the founder of the Drukpa lineage. That was the first Drukpa started.
First. Yes, you're the 12th.
Yes, that is. Yes, I'm the 12th. Yes, you are more informed than myself. Yeah, so that is the reason why I have a responsibility to look after the lineage, and then look after the practice of lineage and the spirit of the lineage.
Yes, and for 1,000 years, I believe, the Drukpa lineage has been carried out for 1,000 years. So what is the flame that keeps the lineage keep going?
Actually, of course, there are many different flames. If you want, you can just say it like that. There are lots of different flames and different manifestations when it comes to the growth of a lineage, something like this. But obviously, we and I myself personally do believe that the most important is the compassion and loving kindness. And that is the one thing that really keeps the flame going on and on, even for millions of years and millions of years. Compassion has to really come into an action. So the action is the one, really is the engine. The engine is the action. Action goes on and on and on.
Yes.
Action of what? Action of benefiting people, benefiting beings. What we call bodhicitta. Bodhicitta. Bodhi is the enlightenment and citta is the heart. Heart of enlightenment. And this is what we are focusing on by helping people.
Right.
So helping people, to tell you the nut shell.
Yeah.
The helping people and helping beings is the main engine that runs the wheel.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's nowadays some people say compassion has no sort of movement, nothing, just smile and be kind. That's it. But that's not good enough. Compassion needs to be an action.
Now, during this visit to Vietnam, you presided over a great prayer ceremony for world peace at the Great Mandala Stupa in Tay Thien, at the very time of the Hung King's commemoration. So what does this convergence mean to you?
To my understanding and my feeling, Hung King, spirit of the Hung King is the dragon, the
Yes.
power, the compassion, the understanding, wisdom.
Yes.
This is what I understand. So therefore, I have a very strong feeling myself towards the Hung King and Hung King's commemoration day. And therefore, I'm always encouraging people of my students in Vietnam to really be working and following his right path,
Yeah.
correct
Teachings.
genuine path. And so that's the reason why we have a strong connection. So therefore, we are celebrating that. Yes.
Once a year, the Tanka or Throng Dol of the Thousand-Armed and Thousand-Eyed Avalokiteshvara, the largest embroidered brocade Buddhist painting in Vietnam, is solemnly unfurled in the sacred space of the Tay Thien Great Mandala Stupa.
Tôi rất ấn tượng khi được chứng kiến cái bức tranh thăng ca Đức Phật Quan Âm nhìn tay nhìn mắt. Sang đây là cầu nguyện mọi người dân được hưởng một đời sống hòa bình và hạnh phúc, thế giới không còn chiến tranh và mong muốn cho đất nước Việt Nam ngày càng thịnh vượng.
This was one of the special rituals held during the Great Prayer Ceremony for World Peace in late April 2026 at the Tay Thien Great Mandala Stupa in Phú Thọ Province, presided over by the Gyalwang Drukpa.
So for me, such events, it brings the two people much closer, the society is much better, and Indo-Vietnam relations more stronger. Lord Buddha, he speaks about non-violence, he speaks about peace, he speaks about compassion, and this is also what I think His Holiness mentioned in his address. So I think in this society, when there is so much of violence, so much of destruction, the message of Lord Buddha, I think is very important for all of us. And I strongly believe in the Indo-Vietnam journey, Buddhism is a very strong connect, again, which comes down to people and peace.
As the bell of peace echoed, compassion seemed to be awakened in every heart, carrying aspirations for peace and well-being in all directions.
Hôm nay được tham gia sự kiện này thực sự là tôi vô cùng hạnh phúc. Rồi nghe tiếng chuông hòa bình thì tôi thấy xúc động sâu xa và mình cũng nghe cái tiếng chuông đó thì mình cũng tình yêu với mọi người. Và chúng tôi cũng hy vọng rằng là cái sự có mặt của mình ngày hôm nay ở trong pháp hội cũng sẽ đem lại một cái lời cầu nguyện hòa bình cho tất cả thế giới.
A 200-meter-long calligraphy scroll of peace in the Tibetan language, carrying prayers for world peace, was unfurled, evoking a sacred and deeply moving moment.
Tôi mong nguyện đến buổi lễ cầu an hôm nay, cầu nguyện cho thế giới hòa bình, nhân dân an lạc và cũng cầu nguyện cho gia đình, bản thân, những người thân quen được an vui, hạnh phúc.
As a sincere prayer for national peace and prosperity, for peace and harmony among people in a world of many uncertainties, the Great Prayer Ceremony became a bridge connecting hearts and spreading a message of love and peace to the community.
Now, looking back to the very beginning of this journey with Vietnam, may I ask who first created that connection with you, in what circumstances you met, and what that first encounter has come to mean to you?
That is we have a celebration. We have a celebration that's a festival. We call it Festival Naropa, Six Ornament Festival. There's a Naropa is the one that is a great Pandit, great yogi of India, one of the greatest one, so-called Naropa. And his six ornaments are heritage into me. So I am always wearing this once in 12 years to show and to benefit all the beings. So that time, one kind of a lone, kind of a Vietnamese nun came, and we met together. And he's her name is Thích Minh Giờ. She is now the chief abbot of the stupa. It was very special sort of connection we have built. Ever since then, we have a special connection. I believe that she is a disciple of Naropa those days and reincarnated into the form of Vietnamese.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah.
And came into the Vietnamese form and takes this role to help Vietnamese beings.
Yeah.
So ever since then she fulfilled one of my wishes of activities. So that is the reason. That is how we start the Vietnamese activities.
Now, let's talk a little bit about your connection with Vietnam. Flashing back to your first time here, I believe it was in 2007. So when you first arrived in Vietnam, was it an instant spiritual connection?
Yes, I would say spiritual connection, because the Vietnamese are already like they are very ripened. I wouldn't say all the Vietnamese, but majority Vietnamese are already ripened in a spiritually. They are very compassionate. They are very understanding. They are very spiritually ripened. You know, they're very, very much so. So this is already very special for me. I have been traveling all over the world, but none of the people, I would say, other than Vietnamese, they are ripened that much. Of course, there are very, very beautiful people around. But,
everywhere.
Yeah, but when we talk about the compassionate and spiritually ripened, it's a very rare to see like Vietnamese.
When you first came to Tay Thiên, before any decision was made about, the great mandala or the stupa was going to be built there, when you arrived there, what is the special thing that you felt about the place?
Anyway, Tay Thiên, that area, for me is a very holy place. You know, when the day one I visit, I felt a special, very wow. You know, it's just like so special. I thought, the Vietnamese government, Vietnamese people, Vietnamese business people, they are so lucky. They have such a wonderful area. I felt that way, I felt so awakening, I feel like.
Yeah.
So it was very, very special anyway. So then lately I said, what is the special about the land and all these things? Please tell me. Then I was asking different people and all these things. And then I came to know that it's a motherland of the Vietnam.
Yes.
They ancient people also, they say similar kind of thing. I have never heard of that.
Yeah.
But I felt this is a wow, a right place to really be sort of like a preserve for the country, for the sake of countries and people.
Yeah.
So I was very moved and very, I wouldn't say attached, but it was so vivid to me.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I decided to sort of do some kind of thing like a mandala and the stupa, holy stupa, for the benefit of people, so people can come and pay homage and pay homage and the circumambulation. I don't know, 6, 7 times, 10 times, 100 times circumambulation, and do some mantras, spiritual practices. It looks like a religious practice, but it is not. It is the way how they take the benefit for their home. For their home's sake, for their home, for their business sake, and for their family's sake, they go back. They take back the benefit.
After nearly 2 decades of ties with Vietnam, This is the Gyalwang Drukpa's 13th visit to the country, where he was solemnly welcomed by Buddhist followers and local people. On each visit, Phật Tích Pagoda, a sacred ancient pagoda with nearly 1,000 years of history, has always been a special stop for the head of the Drukpa lineage. More than a place of profound spiritual value, it is also seen as a symbol of the strong and blessed connection between him and Vietnamese Buddhism, along with the Vietnamese people.
Ngài đã khích lệ mọi người không chỉ là thực hành tốt những lời dạy của Đức Phật, mà chúng ta phải dấn thân, đặc biệt là trong vấn đề xây dựng cái tình hữu nghị, cái tình đoàn kết trong tăng đoàn, tình đoàn kết giữa các dân tộc. Và hơn nữa là Ngài cũng đặc biệt quan tâm tới vấn đề bảo vệ môi trường. Ngài đã được tặng những cái danh hiệu rất là cao quý của các tổ chức thế giới về bảo vệ môi trường. Và điều làm tôi ấn tượng đó là sau đó thì Ngài đã đem đến cho cộng đồng Việt Nam một cái niềm tin để mà vững bước ở trong cuộc sống.
According to the Gyalwang Drukpa, what has inspired him to return again and again is the sincerity, warmth, and hospitality that the Vietnamese people have shown him over the years. He has shared that every time he comes to Vietnam, he can feel a positive energy, a strong sense of community connection, and the resilient spirit of the people here. The Gyalwang Drukpa's visits have served as a cultural and spiritual bridge, helping connect communities through a message of peace, compassion, and love.
So you yourself has been doing a lot of activities in order to spread compassion, to teach the idea of compassion and turn that into action. One of which is to cycling across the Himalaya. When you did that to advocate for environmental protection. And so during those solitary moments where you cycle through the Himalayas, what was on your mind at that time?
Great joy. Great joy.
Great joy.
Yeah, great joy. And great joy for myself being able to do that. And of course, people who are following me. This time, for example, not many people. We have only 40 to 50 people, that's all. But usually there's more than 400 people will come, join together. But great joy, yes, great joy. I'm telling you, these kind of activities really brings me greatest joy in the world, I would say.
Yeah.
Whatever I do is okay, half. But the full joy has to be done. Activities of like cycling, trekking, trekking to the mountain, trekking on the mountain, and also the cycling and in many places, not only Himalaya, but many places, thousands of kilometers. And it's very good. Very good. Great joy.
Yeah, great joy being able to reconnect with the environment.
That's it. And doing something for the better. Hopefully that people will be listening. People will be seeing, people will be listening. I don't know.
Yeah. And I think if you happen to fall in love with nature, why wouldn't you protect it, right?
That's true. That's true. We are the part of the nature, so we have to be protecting ourselves, actually. Nature is very important because the nature is suffering, nature is sick. So we have to really be looking after the nature and then do something about that.
Yeah.
Do something like preserving trees, preserving waters, and preserving earth. So in order to have a kind of healthy life and sort of pleasant life, you have to first look after the nature.
Yes.
So that after having good nature around, then you are the one who's going to be enjoying. And not only you, your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren will be having such a good time to live in this world.
What can an ordinary person do to help the planet?
They have to be more mindful, and listen and look. We all tend to be so arrogant. We don't want to listen. We don't want to talk about, understand more about the things around. So that is not good. So we have to be mindful. So mindful in the sense of we have to be more humbleized and listen more and learn more so that we will know. For example, they should be seeing what is the importance of the water. They should see what is the importance of the trees and all these things.
A special bicycle journey from Hamburg to Copenhagen, held from May to June 2024, spread a meaningful message of green travel, climate action, and gender equality. The event became even more significant and inspiring, with Gyalwang Drukpa leading the journey alongside the Drukpa Kung Fu nuns. His presence delivered a powerful call for collective responsibility in addressing climate change, while also inspiring people everywhere to join hands in protecting nature and the environment. Throughout this meaningful journey, the Gyalwang Drukpa, the nuns, and Buddhist followers took part in planting trees and meeting with policymakers and environmental activists, sharing a common vision of building a greener and better world for future generations.
Usually, many people think that spiritual practice means withdrawal. Is to withdraw inside, is to, recite
I know.
mantras.
Yeah, once I told you this, I think, before. Yes, true.
And to living like a closed door life. But in your case, it's not that at all.
The other way around.
It has to be the other way around.
Yeah. To my understanding, the spiritual practice is nothing but the mindfulness. It has to be little mindfulness. You can't forget totally the kindness of the nature, the kindness of the people, the kindness of your spouse and your father, your children. So, the good part of the world needs to be remembered. And that continuation of remembering that good part is the one that really is what I call spiritual. Spiritual is the understanding and mindfulness.
Yes.
Remembering the kindness of everybody, everything. The earth. Earth is the very kind. Otherwise, without earth, how can we survive?
And you call it compassion in action, right? And so why is it so important that compassion doesn't just remain a beautiful idea? And why does action has to come with compassion?
Very important. Compassion doesn't mean anything if you do not have action. To my understanding, maybe I'm wrong. Compassion doesn't make any sense. Just taking care. Yes, for example, you fell off from here. You fell off from here, and then I compassion you. I say, oh my, it's poor thing. He fell off, but I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. I just feel sympathetic to you, towards you. That's all. But I'm not helping you. So what is the compassion? Where is the compassion? What does it do? Doesn't do that much. Maybe it does a little bit. I don't know where, but sometime it does. Somewhere, something. But actually, if you say, yes, poor thing, he fell off from here, I immediately stand up and hold your hand and get you back to the chair or wherever. That is the compassion in action.
The Gyalwang Drukpa is recognized as a Buddhist spiritual leader, noted for his many initiatives advancing gender equality within a spiritual life. Believing that women should also be given equal opportunities in spiritual practice and personal development, he has established nunneries such as Đức Gyalwang on the outskirts of Kathmandu, Nepal, and in Ladakh, India. This is regarded as an important step in expanding the role of women in Himalayan Buddhism. One of the most striking images at Đức Gyalwang is the daily synchronized kung fu practice performed by the nuns. Martial arts here are not intended for combat, but are seen as a way to improve physical health, concentration, discipline, and the ability to protect oneself. The sight of nuns in traditional outfits performing kung fu in unison against the backdrop of the Himalayas has become a powerful symbol of confidence, inner strength, and the independent spirit of modern Buddhist women.
Speaking of some of the other missions that you have embarked on, something that you have championed, gender equality in Buddhism. Can you tell us a little bit more about some of the resistance that you face?
The culture. The culture is the one. For example, who should be the first one? Male should be the first one. Female should be the second one. Who should be sitting the first row? The male first row, and the female should be the second row. And all these kind of culture, the rubbish. It's a rubbish actually. It doesn't really help. But that makes some big impact in people's mind that the female should be always the secondary. So this is the one thing that I have to practically destroy this culture.
Looking back on that journey of 15 years since you were first here during Talk Vietnam, and so 15 years ago on this stage of Talk Vietnam, you had shared that the peace begins with each and every human being. And so 15 years later, much have changed. The world has shifted, and I think we live in a world with problems more profound, more complex, and more personal than ever. And so what do you think is the root cause of this fragmentation, of this division that we're seeing in the world?
15 years ago, the people are like this, same as right now, maybe even worse. It become even worse because of the environment. Everything is, like a sort of like a little negative. So therefore, the people are also the world is not getting not very much changed. Therefore, because people are not changed. People are not changed. Why? Because of the people have not been practicing compassion. They have not been practicing the spirituality, like as I mentioned before, the mindfulness. They have not trying to even change.
The 12th Gyalwang Drukpa of the Drukpa lineage is widely known for his inspiring environmental protection efforts, especially the Green Up pilgrimage expeditions to collect waste across the Himalayas. Through the Ecopath Yatra, month-long treks on foot through rugged mountain regions, he has led hundreds and even thousands of monks, nuns, Buddhist followers, and volunteers in joint efforts to protect nature. Throughout the expedition, the group collected tens of thousands of plastic bottles, plastic bags, and other types of waste along the routes. They also stopped at more than 30 villages to encourage local people to reduce the use of single-use plastics and plant trees. These persistent efforts have had a far-reaching impact. In 2010, the Gyalwang Drukpa and volunteers set a Guinness World Record for tree planting in the Himalayas. In 2013, the United Nations honored him as the Guardian of the Himalayas in recognition of his outstanding contributions to the environment and local communities.
Thank you very much on behalf of my organization, Live to Love, and also all the supporters in Himalaya regions and all over the world. Thank you.
In this kind of world, how can compassion remain practical and not just remain as a philosophical idea?
I think generally school is the most important, I think. Everywhere in the world there is a school, but school needs to be teaching correct way, so that the people, the children, they learn how to really be humbling, how to really be appreciating the nature, and all these good things we'll be learning from this. And second to the school is the parents that needs to really be teaching the children very nicely. For example, if children wants to kill some animals or anything, don't kill. This is really the key point what we have to really change. Changing topics in the school, and also the parents, they have to really think about their children to be a good man, good person, good girl.
What do you think is the most prominent crisis the world having to face now?
Now, war is the one thing that maybe there's just one little button. That's it. War will come and destroy half the world, or I don't know, whatever. You know better than I do, but so that is what I'm concerned about. Mm-hmm. People have to have a feeling, at least. So then these little boys and girls will be sooner or later be the leader of the company, leader of the small school, and leader of the country even. And they are the one who's going to be either pressing this button or not, you know. Mm-hmm. So we have to be very careful how, you know, to take care of them, to bring them up in a good way.
How can one maintain peace without being indifferent or ignorant to the changes we're seeing in life?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. Changing lifestyle is a very bad thing to do. I think you should really remain in whatever you are doing. You should really. Sometimes I don't even see it's a good thing to do, to be a monk also. To be a monk and to be a nun. Also, I'm thinking like that. Like a lay people is good enough. Lay people, good lay people, good boy, good girl. That actually means good Buddhist, good Christian, good Muslim, good Hindu. You know, this is what I'm saying. A good is very important, not changing the entire thing. I think it's very important topic that we can talk about it, actually. So, yeah, you don't need to change. For example, you don't need to be a monk to be a good boy. You don't need to be a nun to be a good girl. You don't have to. You just can be equally good, equally peaceful with the nun and monks without changing your style. Your life will be styled the same. That is the thing, that is the target, that is the challenge that you have to face with. Without changing, you get the equal amount of the peace and understanding.
Right.
That is the challenge, but at the same time, it is really the hero, I would say.
Yes.
Life should be active, but with love and compassion, not with anger. Active with anger is no good. But no anger, no ignorant, but with the love and wisdom. So love and wisdom, then active. Then what we call love in action. That is very important. People should be actively involved in doing many good things, and the day-to-day life has to be developed fully.
Hạnh phúc là lúc nào cũng thấy mình thanh thản, tức là một cái cuộc sống hòa bình, an lạc.
Theo tôi, hạnh phúc là chính mình và được ở bên cạnh những người thân yêu của mình.
Là hạnh phúc bây giờ là phải tất cả mọi người phải được sống trong hòa bình.
Today we gather here with hearts to pray.
So what is the biggest illusion that people are being trapped nowadays?
Illusion is social media.
Yes, continue. The illusion of social media.
Yeah, we believe in this small thing. We believe 100% sometime, and that is illusion. Actually, I would say, and many different illusions we have. Not only this, but this is just one of the example that you can say. And not only just an illusion, but it's like drawing yourself in it, and you cannot really getting yourself out of it. I don't go against the social media. I don't go against the computer and all this high technology. I like AI. I like all these things. It's a wonderful thing, but one should never be dragged inside and directly inside, and you will never know where you don't know where you are actually at that moment. So that is too much, and the physically it'll be unhealthy, and mentally it'll be so sick.
Yeah.
So it's not good. That is going to be a biggest problem nowadays, I think.
If you could just say one brief thing to the young generation today, not a lecture, just a short message, what would it be?
Be active. Yeah, be active, and be active in the compassion. Most important for young generation is not to be lazy. Not to be lazy, and to be very creative. But obviously, at the same time, one needs to keep the role to the balance. It's very important.
So, obviously, moving away from the conversation of, uncertainty and sadness and anxiety of the current society, right? What makes you feel hopeful about the future of humanity?
I think we have to really be enjoying our life in a balanced way between the how do you say, compassion and action, and that is enjoyment that we have to really be always thinking about, because you can't avoid the enjoyment. The enjoying is very important. Life needs to be enjoyed. Otherwise, life is death. And actually, it's a dead meat. Life has to be enjoyed. Life needs to be appreciated, and the appreciation is coming from the being active. Otherwise, there's no enjoyment. So the active part of life is the enjoyment. It's actually enjoyment, appreciation. So I would always recommend people to enjoy their life, appreciate what they have given, what they were given by whatever you may call the parent, by your skill, or by some friends, or all needs to be appreciated.
Well, thank you so much, Your Holiness, Gyalwang Drukpa, for coming over to our Talk Vietnam today. 15 years, and the message remained the same. Thank you so much for once again reminding us that compassion is not a comfort, but a responsibility.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
Now, in a fast-changing world, it's easy to feel that the challenges we face are simply too vast, too complex. But as His Holiness the Gyalwang Drukpa reminds us, change begins with intention, with awareness, and with action. And perhaps compassion is not a distant ideal after all, but a choice, one that each of us can make every single day. Now, thank you for watching, and see you next time on Talk Vietnam.
Where faith in sacred peace hold clouds of white, the mandala stupa shines in heaven's light. A thousand sutras rise and fill the sacred air. Each breath a prayer for all the world to share.
Our land has known the mountains and the streams, the golden rice fields, fair and safe and serene.
Today we gather here with hearts to pray. May all the Buddhas guide us on our way. May the light of compassion spread to every land. May all our sorrows fade and wars forever end.
May peace like a lotus blossom in the heart.
Each soul a candle shining through the dark. May peace reign over all our lands, this sacred earth. 5 continents, 1 ocean, 1 home of boundless worth. Oh, Mani Padme Hum, the sacred mantra true. World peace begins within.